I've seen a lot of ways for politicians to dodge uncomfortable questions. Sometimes they run away. Sometimes they answer these questions with bullshit answers. But I don't think I've seen anybody dodge a question about tax havens, for example, by talking about Jesus Christ. But that's exactly what Minnesota Representative Abigail Whalen had actually done. Now, Whalen is a second-term House legislature, and basically she was responding from a question from Democratic Representative Paul Tisson about these said tax havens. So let's get a look at her response.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Representative Tisson, for the question. It might be because it's late and I'm really tired, but I'm going to take this opportunity to just share with the body something I have been grappling with over the past several months, and that is the games that we play here. And I just want you to know, Representative Tisson and the DFL caucus, I forgive you. It is okay, because I have an eternal perspective about this.
Eternal perspective? Wait a minute, what is she talking about? Wait a minute, what's the... I forgive you. We're playing games here, but I forgive you. Well, what does that have to do with tax havens, dude? I don't... What are you talking about? I don't understand.
I have an eternal perspective, and I want to share that with you and with the people listening at home, that at the end of the day, when we try to reach agreement with divided government, we win some, we lose some, nobody's really happy. But you know what? Happiness and circumstances, not what it's about. There is actual joy to be found in Jesus Christ. Jesus loves you all. If you would like to get to know him, if you're listening at home, if you're here in this room, please email me, call me. I'd love to talk to you about Jesus. He is the hope of this state and of this country.
Look, I'm tired, but you know what? I'm going to talk about Jesus. You're supposed to be talking about tax havens. Doesn't have anything to do with tax havens. Look, seriously though, she's a representative, not a preacher. Hey, look, if you want to be a preacher, God bless. Literally. I mean, look, you seem to be more fit for it anyway. Hey, call me, email me. Oh, we could talk about Jesus, but I just want to talk about marginal tax rates. Yeah, but Jesus. Praise Jesus. Send your money offshore. Wait a minute. I don't think allowing people to hoard wealth and evade taxes is a very Christian thing to do. I'm just saying. In fact, I seem to remember reading somewhere about rendering unto Caesar, which is Caesar's. Oh, right, the Bible. I think, you know who said that? Jesus. Hey, you know what? Maybe all this talk about getting to know Jesus, maybe Abigail Whalen should get to know Jesus a little bit better. You might actually find out when you read about him that he was a socialist, hated the bankers. In fact, he drove them out of the temple with a whip and told people to give up all their possessions to the poor. But no. You gotta understand, that is not Abigail Whalen's Jesus. She actually follows Republican Jesus. Now, let me give you some of her examples of so-called Christian positions that she's taken. Quote, in 2016, Whalen co-authored Minnesota's version of an anti-trans bathroom bill that would have barred transgender people from using the bathroom, matching their gender identity in public areas and their workplaces. This is according to the column. And during a radio interview of April of last year, Whalen characterized society's growing tolerance for LGBTQ people as entering into an era where good is called evil and evil is called good. She also says, quote, when you go through life and you are transgender and you end up having an operation, those folks, they are depressed. You know what? They get depressed because of people like you. You depress them. Why? Because you're constantly looking down on them. You're constantly judging them based on your interpretation of your holy book. That same holy book you want to foist upon everybody else. That's the problem here. Why do you think they're depressed? They have a society full of people like you that hate them, that call them confused, that tell them that they're bad people. You're going to hell because you're not doing these traditional roles that I've assigned to you. Well, who the hell are you? Who the hell gives you authority? Nobody. our laws are not made from God, they're actually made from man. And I know these religious people will come out and they'll argue against that every day. But guess what? When it comes down to it, we follow the Constitution, not the Bible. And in fact, the Constitution says we should not rule on the Bible. We should have a wall of separation, and this was from the Founding Fathers, a wall of separation between the church and the state. Not just to protect people from the church, but also to protect the church. You don't want the government getting its government hands all up in your religion, do you? No, and we don't want religion getting all up in our government. There's supposed to be a wall. Look, if you want to be a preacher, go be a preacher, but you're a representative. And maybe you need to start representing the will of Minnesotans. Now, here's the other thing, right? Now, she actually ended up voting on the amendment, or I'm sorry, against the amendment to stop these tax loopholes. So she dodged that entire question, went into a spiel about Jesus, oh, get to know Jesus. And then she said, tax havens, love them. It's what Jesus would have done. I'm going to vote in favor of this. Come on, man. Look, I don't know about Minnesota Republicans, or I don't know what it is with you guys. I mean, Michelle Bachmann, great example, Minnesota. Minnesota Republicans. The Democrats are fine from Minnesota. But the Republicans, you a special kind of crazy. They act all holier than thou, literally, and then vote in favor of the wealthy and corporations. And then to hurt the poor, the minorities, and the outcasts. It's incredibly hypocritical. So if anybody needs to go and learn about Jesus, it's Abigail Whalen. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.